There's been talk whether this is a merger, is this a takeover? 60-40, gotta admit, this sounds more like a takeover.
I don't think so. There's lots of deals that aren't 50-50. It's a merger. I think the board construct, the management construct, the dual headquarters structure all suggest more of a merger, a business combination. I don't blame people for thinking first it's an acquisition. They are the bigger company. There are several other exchanges around the world whose market caps are bigger than ours. But I think you'll see as the details come out, this looks and feels much more like a merger.
What is the U.S. losing in this deal?
I don't know why you would ask that. We're actually winning, I think. I think we're both gaining. I think it's a win-win. If you look how both stocks have behaved, you've now got a duly headquartered company in New York and Frankfurt. Our company today is duly headquartered in New York and Paris. Now we're stapling on a big, largely international business to that. It's the U.S. and New York leading from the front, this time with a partner in Frankfurt as opposed to a partner in Paris. And now you will put together truly a unique, globally diversified set of financial markets that are highly regulated and transparent. So I think everybody's winning. No one's losing.
Critics are saying that despite this deal, the NYSE will still continue losing market share. What do you have to say?
Well, critics sometimes don't have all the facts, but I think the facts will prevail. Look, the fact of the matter is the U.S. equity business for our company, the way it's currently constructed, is not the majority of the business anymore. It was our view several years ago that with a lot of the competition in the business here, we could not rely on U.S. equities as our single source of profitability over the long run. We also appreciate that the markets are global, the capital markets are worldwide, and I think our view is we've got to continue to be invested in those markets and services across the value chain. The market share here has actually been pretty stable for the last 12 to 24 months. The bigger issue is not competition from other exchanges, it's the increasing opacity of the U.S. equity market.
What about the retail investor, the little guy? The little guy's going to be left behind, or will he?
I don't know why the little guy would be left behind, but I think our view is the U.S. equity market is already very electronic, it's very fragmented. Nothing's really going to change here for that retail investor in terms of how they put their orders in, et cetera. But I think in terms of what goes on here every day and in the equity market, not a lot's going to change. I think the broader challenge the SEC has for the retail investor, nothing to do with this deal, is a lot of the orders that retail investors place may not find their way to the exchanges. And that's the bigger issue that the U.S. regulators have to deal with.
What do you say to Americans sitting in middle America right now in Peoria, let's just say, and they're saying the big board no longer American when this deal goes through?
Well, then if they've been saying that today, they would have been saying that a few years ago because we merged with a European company 4 years ago. And it's still here. We run this company from New York and Paris today. We'll be running it from New York and Frankfurt tomorrow. The management team is going to be led by me, I'm privileged to say. And we have a very balanced global management team, just like we have today, a global balanced board, and predominantly owned by U.S. shareholders. So I'm not sure where the big board's going. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Let's talk about the name. What's the name going to be?
I've said that to everyone else who's asked me. I think a lot of you heard what I said today. In a merger like this, you have three choices when you're building a global business. You put the larger company's moniker first, you put the better brand of the two first if there's clearly one, or you come up with an umbrella name for the global top.
Is New York the better brand?
Both sides agree that NYSE is the bigger brand. Both sides agree that DB is the bigger company. I can tell you that the DB NYSE name is no longer being considered. So it's either the NYSE DB name or some name that evokes kind of the global nature.
So brand is bigger than the company?
I think what happens, Allison, a lot is brand is certainly an emotional topic around which people have a lot of pride and passion. And I think if we were a consumer brand, this would be a really easy decision. We're not a consumer brand. We're a financial markets brand that's trying to run an evidence that we're running a global business. So I promised everybody in a month or two we'll have an answer on that.